I made a video the other day where I mentioned the word phenomena, as I often do, and thouartthat called me on a little bit as though I might be misusing the term, and in a sense I was, but in a sense I wasn't. I was just using the term in the way that I think there's a long history to this term, and it's a classical, part of a classical dichotomy coming from Greek philosophy and Greek terminology between the phenomena and the noumena. Now, the noumena originally, the idea comes from the word to think, and phenomena it relates to the things that you've sensed. But see, I am non-dualist. I don't believe in this dualism. This is not to me a dichotomy. Indeed, I don't use the word noumena very often, but if I were, I would say that it's a kind of phenomena, because I believe we sense the things that we're thinking also as phenomena. That's right, we have an eye on our own, looking at our own thoughts, and we see things that are ideas. Memory is a re-phenomena. It comes as a phenomena, because it comes from perceptions and senses. And I liken all of these internal detectors to senses. Hunger is a sense. It's detecting something somewhat abstract and certainly internal that has a meaning mainly for our biological system. But that's a sense. Everything that we sense has a meaning for our biological system. So I tend to use the word phenomena more as it's come to be in natural science, where we're talking about bundles of behavior, and that's all we have. And the noumena, if we're going to talk about it, is really just the meaning we've assigned that, and it's not going to be what's in the real world. The noumena is going to be what we're thinking in the dreams that we're thinking. And there would have to be another word for what's really out there in the real world, generating these phenomena. But I don't use a separate word. I simply talk about them as phenomena, because I know we're never going to get at that true essence. That true essence of the material world is a placeholder to a certain extent for the unknown, the not fully knowable. And I hate to say unknowable, because people then start to think, oh, well, nihilism, nothing is known. No. It's partially knowable. We can know aspects. We take cross-sections. We take projections. We get some information. If I can say that the banana is less than a foot long, even though I don't know everything about the banana. And so I can have a partial truth. Now, that doesn't mean that it's not longer than a foot in some other reference frame, right? Because I'm making statements with respect to my own reference frame, or possibly in the rest frame of the banana or something like this, depending on our conventions and what we agree on. And it's either implicit or we make it explicit and we say what we mean by those things. So in terms of phenomena, I consider everything a phenomena, because we only experience things as phenomena, as series of behaviors that we decide to bundle or not. And that's the noumenal part. It's possible to say the noumenal part is separate from the phenomenal part, in the sense that the noumenal part would be the parts of our experiences that we have because of the way we think versus our environment. But we've seen our own brains, okay, so we know about the phenomena of our own brain, and so the brain itself is a phenomena. So anything going on in that brain is a phenomena as well. So we can see the thoughts happening in the form of a PET scan or something. And we can look closer, but we already do see some of that process. So trying not to use that term too loosely, but I definitely don't use it quite in the ancient Greek sense, because I don't accept the dichotomy as such. Certainly not in the Kantian sense, where he sort of solidified phenomena as what we perceive, and noumena as what was real, but which I consider a somewhat Platonic trick, because the noumena is what we're deducing from the phenomena, and it's a way of sneakily asserting that what we've deduced is what's really out there, and it's not. So anyway, phenomena.